What's up guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Macros 101. Today we are going to be going over how to set up your own macros. I know the first video was kind of just like a little introductory video to kind of dip your feet in the water, but you can't really start anywhere if you don't have your macros counted out and your macro setup. So that is what today's video is going to be all about. I have everything planned out, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know I've said this a million times, but I just wanted to start out this video by saying that no one person is the same. Each one of you is going to have a different set of macros. Not one person is going to be the same, even if you guys weigh the exact same and are the same height and work out about the same. No one person is the same. So I really just wanted to emphasize that because that is super important. I may not get it down, you know, at first, but this is going to help you get started, obviously, and help you get into counting your macros. So with that, let's get into it. Step one, you want to calculate your BMR. So BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. This is going to basically tell you how many calories that you would be burning if you were at rest for a whole 24 hours. So if you just sat on your couch for 24 hours, your BMR is going to tell you the amount of calories you would burn if you were sitting on your couch for that whole entire 24 hours. So this is, again, step one, how to calculate your BMR. There are like two common formulas that are like widely used. For the sake of this video, we are going to use Mifflin St. George, and this is actually just taken straight off of MyFitnessPal. They believe that this is the most accurate way to calculate your BMR. There is like a whole equation where you can calculate your BMR, but I mean, it's literally 2017, like we have a computer to do it for us, and that'll make things 10 times easier. So I literally just Googled BMR calculator into Google, and the MyFitnessPal one came up. Don't get me wrong, you can use any BMR calculator, but let's just use this one for the sake of this video. To calculate your BMR, you're just gonna need some information about yourself, just simple stuff. So what we're going to need is your gender, your age, your weight, your height, what kind of job you do. So if your job is sedentary or if your job is super, like if you're super active in your job, and how many like times a week you work out. So this is gonna be our example to follow for the whole entire video, okay? So we're using, this is again just a random person, a female, okay? She's 25 years old. She weighs 140 pounds. She's 5'5". She works a sedentary job, let's say she's a secretary, and she gets to the gym 3 times a week, maybe does some cardio, just whatever she feels like that day. This is our example person. All right, I hope you guys can kind of see this. So we have our example person right here. I know it's a little bit hard to tell what it is, but I just told you guys earlier. So right here, we're just gonna calculate our BMR for this particular person. So you're gonna put in your weight. So we have her weight, which is 140, which is in pounds. Her height is gonna be 5'5". She is 25, and she is a female. Taking that away, we're gonna calculate this. So her estimated BMR is gonna be about 1381 calories per day. So just like that, step one is completed. Calculating your BMR is super simple. You just plug it into a computer, no big deal. We have her BMR, which, so you guys can see, just like a visual, her BMR is 1381 calories per day. So again, this is what she would burn if she was at rest for a whole entire 24 hours. So now that we have her BMR, we're going to move into step two. So step two is to determine your activity level. So like I said earlier, we're pretending that she has a sedentary job and she works out 3 times a week. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys this. Go ahead and pause the video or screenshot or do whatever you wanna do. This is going to be the list of activity levels, okay? So what you're going to do is you're gonna multiply your BMR by your activity level. So we said that her job was sedentary and that she works out maybe 3 times a week. So we're gonna set her at lightly active, okay? This is gonna be her set activity level. Now, if you don't work out at all, if you're just starting, I would recommend setting your activity level at sedentary. If you're working out like 3 times a week and your job is sedentary, maybe lightly active. Say you work out like 5 times a week, I would set it at moderately active. If you're consistently working out 6 to 7 times a week, I would set it at this one, 1.725, which is working out 6 to 7 times a week. And if you're like running marathons every weekend, you will definitely be at like a 1.9 activity level. So choose your activity level and you're gonna multiply it by your BMR. So for example, for her, we're choosing lightly active for her activity level, and we're gonna multiply that times 1381. 1381, which is her BMR. We're multiplying that by her activity level, which we set at lightly active. So we're doing 1.375. We're gonna multiply that out, which gives us a whopping total of 2140 calories. This is going to be her maintenance calories. Okay, so after you determine your BMR, you're gonna multiply that caloric number by your activity level, and that is going to give you your maintenance calories. 2140 is her maintenance caloric intake. This maintenance calorie number is basically telling us that if she went about her normal life, went to work out, works out 3 times a week, she would have to eat 2140 calories to maintain her weight. So her weight, if she ate 2,140 calories, her weight would not increase, it would not decrease, she would maintain it. So with that, step 2 is completed. Again, step 2, all you're doing is multiplying your BMR, which we calculated online. All you're doing is multiplying your BMR by your set activity level. And that'll give you your maintenance calories, which in turn tells you what you would have to eat to not gain or lose any weight. Moving on to step 3. Step 3 is going to be to determine if you want to be in a caloric deficit or a caloric surplus. So the difference is, if you're wanting to lose weight, you want to eat in a caloric deficit. If you want to be gaining weight, you want to eat in a caloric surplus. Okay, so again, we have 2140 calories set for her maintenance calories, which we got by multiplying her BMR by her activity level. And then now we are on to step 3, which you are determining if you are wanting to eat in a surplus or a deficit. So if you're eating in a surplus, you will be eating above that caloric intake. And if you're eating in a deficit, you'll be eating below that caloric intake. So a really good starting point is to say, if you want to eat in a surplus, you want to add 500 calories to your maintenance calories. If you want to be eating in a deficit, you need to subtract 500 calories. So let's say she wants to lose weight. So because she wants to lose weight, she needs to be eating in a deficit. So to eat in a deficit, she's going to have to subtract 500 calories from her maintenance calories. So again, let's start with her maintenance calories, which was 2140 calories. She wants to be eating in a deficit, so we're gonna subtract 500 calories from that. And that is going to give us 1640 calories. Okay, so that's how much calories that she needs to be taking in every day to lose weight. And now moving on to step 4, which is going to be to actually calculate your macronutrients. So again, let's write this out on our calories to lose weight. We have her at 1640 calories. Okay, so that's what we want our macronutrients to add up to. I talked about this in the last video, but I'm not sure, I mean, if you guys remember it, but this is super important when calculating your macros, which is the step that we are on. So again, let's write this out.
For protein, 1 gram of protein is going to be 4 calories. 4 calories. Carbs, 1 gram of carbs is also going to be 4 calories. And for fat, 1 gram of fat is going to equal 9 calories.
So that's super important if you want to screenshot that or do whatever. Before we get into actually calculating her exact macros, I want to talk about how much of each one of these should make up your diet. So it's going to be different for everyone, but just for the sake of this video, protein should make up about 25% of your macronutrients, carbs should make up about 45%, and fat should make up about 30%. So in most cases, fat does not come higher than your protein or your carbs, unless you're doing like a keto diet, that your fat should definitely always be the lowest out of your macronutrients. All right, guys, so first things first, let's start with protein. When you're setting your protein, you want to do about 1 gram per pound of lean body mass that you have, which I know you can't necessarily calculate, but your protein intake should be extremely close to your weight. So this is gonna be different if you are extremely overweight. You wanna go by that lean body mass, but usually in most cases for guys and girls, your protein is gonna be extremely close to your weight. So if you guys remember, she was 140 pounds. So, I mean, I definitely have been doing this long enough to show you guys, but since she is 140 pounds, we are gonna set her protein up at 135 grams. Since 1 gram of protein is equal to 4 calories, what you wanna do is you're gonna multiply 135 grams of protein times 4, which is going to give you 540 calories. Okay, that means if I have her set at 135 grams of protein, that's 540 calories. So I'm gonna take her calories to lose weight. We're gonna do 1640 minus 540, which is gonna be 1100 calories remaining. Okay, so we have her protein set at 135 because of her weight. Her weight is right at 140, so we're gonna go ahead and set her protein at 135. Yes, I could have set it at 140, but I just decided to set it at 135. Again, it's trial and error. So, since we set it at 135 grams of protein, and there is 4 calories for every 1 gram of protein, we're multiplying 135 grams times 4, which equals 540 calories. Since she's getting 540 calories from protein, we are subtracting 540 from her calories to lose weight. So we're taking 1640 and subtracting it by 540, which gives us 1100 calories remaining to use with carbs and fat. Okay, so next we're gonna go into her carbs. Okay, so carbs. Carbs are something that you're definitely gonna have to play around with, but we're gonna set her carbs at 170 grams. And since there is 1 gram of carbs equals 4 calories, we're gonna do the exact same thing. So we're gonna take 170 times 4, which is gonna give us 680 calories. Okay, so since we have 540 calories from protein and we have 680 calories from carbs, we are going to add these up, which gives us 1,220 calories, which we need to subtract from our calories to lose weight. So we're taking 1640 minus 1220, which is going to equal 420 remaining to come from fat. So we have 420 calories remaining. And if you guys remember, for every 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. We only have 420 calories left to equal this, okay? So we need to divide 420 by 9 to make up our fat macros, which is going to give us 45 grams of fat. Yay. So that's how much fat we're getting.
So fat was in at 45 grams.
And like I said earlier, 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. So 45 times 9 is going to give us 405 calories. Okay, so now we are getting 135 grams of protein, which we multiplied by 4, which gives us 540 calories. 170 grams of carbs, which we multiplied by 4, which gives us 680 calories. 45 grams of fat, which we multiplied by 9, which gives us 405 calories. We're gonna add all those calories together, which is gonna give us a total of 1625 calories. And I know it's not the exact same as your calories to lose weight, but it's actually a little less, which is actually a good thing. So your macros need to add up to equal your calories to lose weight or to be less than your calories to lose weight. So a lot of people don't know that there is 4 calories per 1 gram of protein, that there is 4 calories per 1 gram of carbs, and that there are 9 calories for 1 gram of fat. And I think that's where most people get confused, is that your macros add up to your caloric intake. So as long as your calories are set to be in a deficit, which we did earlier, you're gonna be losing weight. So in conclusion, we have her macros set at 135 grams of protein, which we got from her weight, 170 grams of carbs, and 45 grams of fat. Those are her final numbers, and I just showed you guys how to multiply your numbers by how many calories is in 1 gram of each of these macronutrient to equal or be less than this caloric intake to be losing weight. So I mean, really it's all about numbers. You just want to make sure that your macronutrient matches or comes close to that number of calories that you need to be taking in every day for your specific goals. I really hope that made some sense. Again, it really is just simple math, and it's a lot more simple than it's put out to be. You just kind of have to get the hang of it. But again, you're gonna have to play around with them. I would recommend staying super consistent on the macros that you set for yourself for about 2 weeks. Take your weight about every day or every other day, and from there we'll go into make adjustments, which is actually what the next video of this series is going to be about. It's going to be how to adjust them, when to adjust them, when is the right time to adjust them, and much more. Just a little quick review. The first step is to calculate your BMR. The second step is to determine your activity level. You're then going to multiply your BMR that you calculated in step 1 by that activity level. Third step, you are going to decide whether you want to be in a caloric plus or a caloric deficit. If you're going to be in a caloric deficit, you need to subtract that maintenance calories by 500. If you're wanting to be in a caloric surplus, you need to add 500 calories to your maintenance calories. After that, you are going to first set your protein macros, kind of going by your weight. So if you're around 130 pounds, you maybe want to set your protein right at 130. If you weigh 200 pounds, maybe you want to set your protein right at 200 grams. And then you're going to multiply that number by 4, and then use the calories remaining to split between carbs and fat. Your fat should not be super high. If your fat is over 100 grams, there's probably something wrong, unless you're just a genetic freak and can eat that much. Hope that gets you guys kind of started with figuring out your exact macros. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in episode 3. Let me know if there's anything you want to see, or anything I can add to this series, or anything that I could clarify for you guys. I'm really trying to make this less confusing. I hope I'm not making it worse. But please let me know. I love you guys, and I will catch you in the next one.